China on high alert as Delta outbreak spreads to 5 provinces.
Here's a summary of the article.
The 184 infections detected in the city of Nanjing in the past 10 days will test whether the country's zero-tolerance approach, which has swiftly dealt with previous outbreaks, can contain the highly transmissible Delta variant. Infections have now been recorded in 5 different provinces including Beijing, and local health authorities have identified the strain as the Delta variant. After the initial COVID outbreak, which was first recorded in Wuhan in December 2019, China's flare-ups have been relatively minor by international standards and in the context of China's 1.4 billion population. The same figure for China was 0.04. But daily cases in China are now at their highest since January, when tens of millions of people were placed under lockdowns as authorities battled to suppress cases centered around Hubei province. The rise in cases has also led to questions about the effectiveness of China's COVID vaccines, made by the state-owned company Sinopharm and the private firm Sinovac. China has not released results of clinical trials or real-world data that would be needed to assess the vaccine's effectiveness against different variants. People in China who have been fully vaccinated have mostly experienced mild symptoms during the current crop of infections, according to state media.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Dang. Turns out they quickly test millions.
I believe they test in large batches. If a batch is positive, you can test those people individually. It only works if your overall case numbers are low.
There are ways to pool samples in particular combinations which allows clinicians to identify positive individuals from which batches come back with positive results. I'd imagine it works much better when case numbers are low though.
That's exactly how it works. My family and I got notified that testing is available in our community. We went to get tested. The cotton swabs used to collect samples then bag together, maybe 10 swabs per bag. But I always wonder, what if there was one person infected with COVID, wouldn't the whole community got exposed to the virus during testing?
Greater than then bagged together, they shouldn't be bagging them together right away. They should be collecting samples from each swab for the batch test, and then if the batch is positive, test the remaining of each swab individually.
They are bagged together. I was living in Tiantongyuan last year during one of the early outbreaks. They tested the 3 buildings around Building 34 in which the infected individuals had lived and locked down the one building. Tossed 5 swabs in one bag for testing. I found it very confusing.
I honestly question if healthcare workers have another round of this bullshit in them. We are already seeing people leave the healthcare industry due to burnout. A huge Delta wave is going to push out even more. I never truly understood how much death nurses saw until my fiancé, who works on a cardiovascular ICU floor, just broke down one day over our cat who was sick because she didn't want to see him die. He only had a cold, but she said that she had watched so many people died and held in so much emotion that she couldn't take it anymore, and that's when she just ultimately broke down. She's strong as hell for going into work, and I think she could do it again, but I have absolutely no clue what the cost would be. Not to mention bedside nurses get paid like absolute shit in the US for what they have to deal with, so that doesn't help at all either.
So much respect and love to your fiancé. Hope you guys hang in there, my fellow humans, as well as all healthcare workers in general.
Seems like every country, even the ones who handled the early infections well, have been struggling with this variant. That being said, the majority of China is now vaccinated. So hopefully the damage is minimum.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.